Good morning. And for those of you that find that it is not morning, good afternoon or good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching this live, thank you so much. I would love to have you interact with me. If someone that is watching at this very moment, if you could just put in the chat box C, S-E-E. This lets me know that I am visible and that you can hear me clearly. So if someone could type Y-E-S in the chat box to let me know that you can hear me and see me. Today I'm going to talk about the English Proficiency Exam, the IELTS English Proficiency Exam. I'd love for someone to just type in the chat box that you are able to hear me clearly. Hello, Jessica. Thanks for joining me today. It is my pleasure, and thanks so much for typing the word yes. So, Jessica, are you an individual that will need to take the IELTS exam sometime in the very near future? Please type me, just so we have that right train of thought, mindset going as we go forward. Okay. Jessica, I want to invite you to a live class that I will have today. You will need to register. I have placed the link for registering for the absolutely free class in the chat box. So I'd like you to consider coming to that free class. When you attend the free classes that I have, you will be able to ask me questions. You will be able to interact with me in live voice in real time. So let me know if you are able to attend the session for today. I will have these sessions throughout the month of January in an effort to introduce people like yourself, Jessica, to me. And if you have an opportunity, please share that link with some of your friends. Okay? Things are better when you're doing it with people that you know, you trust, and they will hold you accountable for the things that we're going to be doing. So I look forward to having you join us a little later today. The time will be in about 8 hours from now. The live class will begin. Now, let's talk about the IELTS exam. When you are preparing for the IELTS exam, there are many things that you should remember. But more importantly than trying to remember something, it is what you are able to do. If you can, for example, sit for the exam and be comfortable, this will go miles toward your passing the exam with the score that you need. The first thing that you might ask is, how? How can I be comfortable while preparing or actually taking the exam? You can become comfortable when you really know how to study for the IELTS exam. And in my sessions, I give you lots of strategies and tips that will help you do well. One of the things that helped me become the professional coach that I am today is practice. And that is what is going to be required for you to pass the exam. I no longer find it difficult to talk to English language learners about the exam because I know what is expected and I know how to accomplish the goal. So the first thing one has to do is to know your story. Not just one story, maybe 2, 3, 10, but whatever the number is of stories that you need to know them very well. Here is a good example of a story that I know very well. One story that I know very well, and you will hear me talk about this story often, is that as a child, I was very shy and self-conscious. To be self-conscious means that I was so much into myself that I was aware of everything that I did that I could not pay attention to other things that surrounded me. And this is not good, but this is my story. So what did I do to overcome this? Hello, Edison. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy that you're here. I'm talking now about the process of passing the IELTS exam. And it begins with having the confidence that you know what you know, and you know enough English to pass the exam. The thing that I did to overcome my self-awareness, my self-consciousness, and my shyness was to actually do the thing that I feared the most, and that was to start to interact with people. You see, I lived a very sheltered life where my parents did not argue with me. I didn't argue with my parents. I was not a combative child. And I stayed to myself. I stayed a lot in books. I read books all the time. And while reading books all the time, this worked well for me because I was able to avoid many things that my brothers and sisters had to do, which was extremely tiring and boring work. But I enjoyed reading, so my mother encouraged me to read. And as long as I was reading, I was relieved of responsibilities that other members of the family engaged in. Now that's part of a story about my life. So if I had an IELTS question, for example, what is one thing that you have done to avoid the task of taking responsibility for cooking? My story would go something like this. One of the things that I did to avoid cooking at home was find myself reading a great deal of books. The reason I chose to read books is because that was something my mother valued, and rather than have me interrupt my reading to prepare meals for the family, she would allow me to pick up a book and read the book. However, as I later learned, this did not serve me well because when I started to date, I wasn't able to prepare a nice meal for the people that were coming over to visit. And that was a little bit embarrassing because at the age that I was at the time of dating, I should have been able to prepare a simple meal, but I did not. So my story goes on something like that. And I'm going to teach you the strategy of how to breathe, speak, and continue a conversation. So Jessica, what question can I answer for you at this moment? And Edison, where are you from, Edison? Tell me, what country are you from, Edison? And again, thank you both so much for being here. And I hope both of you will register for the class in English conversation that I will have in about 9 hours and a half from this time. Okay, so let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any questions that I can answer for you. I hope also that you are members of my Speak Excellent English Facebook group. If you are not a member of my Speak Excellent English Facebook group, I want to encourage you to join me. I'll post the link so that you can join me as well to the Facebook group. Let me get that for you. And of course, I'd like for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And that link is going to be for the Facebook group. Just 1 second. So I wanted to give you a tip for the IELTS exam today, and that is to go in, sit for the exam, and try to be as calm as possible. Just tell yourself that you can do this, and you'll be amazed at what you are actually able to do. I'm going to post the link now for the Facebook group. Okay, there's the link for the Facebook group. Edison, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already done so. And I'd like to invite both of you to join the Speak Excellent English group. All right, since there isn't any information for me to read, I'm going to leave YouTube now, and I'll be back again on tomorrow or perhaps later today. Thank you so much, Edison, for coming today. Thank you so much, Jessica, for being here as well. It is my pleasure to speak with both of you. I'm Dr. Priscilla. I am the CEO and founder of Speak Excellent English. Bye for now.